Hey everybody, Aural Retentive here. Doing a quick one today, just review. I purchased one album in the last couple weeks, but I wanted to feature some that I've played recently that I think are interesting. So first, my purchase. I sold a record clock at the Frugal Muse, so I went to the vinyl section and I was flipping through and I was like, what? This album is here? And I paid $6.98. So I mean, this is a reissue, I'm sure, of some sort. It's on Atlantic. SD 1311. Like a second, third, and fourth pressing, whatever. But nonetheless, this is my second only Coltrane vinyl, so I was mildly ecstatic to pick this one up. I have this one actually on my phone. It was on sale one time on like the Amazon Music shop for like the whole album for 99 cents. I was like, so I know this album fairly well, and it's totally worth $6.98, especially in the shape it's in. I mean, it's like, it's very, 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 it's like shiny. It's actually staticky still, so yeah. So I was very happy with that one. So that was my purchase. That's going to go lovingly on the shelf over there. So now to the albums that I played recently that I thought I would talk about today. First one is this. Now, I don't know about Todd Rundgren. I really like the Utopia album Oblivion, which I had on cassette. And so my friend Jeff turned me on to this album, and he said, yeah, the whole album is done by Todd Rundgren. He just uses voice. It's all vocal, right? I have several Todd Rundgren albums, and he's kind of one of those guys that goes through a lot of phases and different styles or whatever. So I had no idea what to expect, but this is amazing. Those of you familiar with Todd Rundgren, if you haven't heard this one from him, you need to check it out. It's kind of a mellow. I mean, there's a couple up-tempo songs, but overall, it's kind of mellow. And everything's done with voice. There's no instruments, so yeah, it's on Warner Brothers. Acapella. Sorry, I don't know if you can read that. The name of the album is Acapella. So this is, I played this a couple times. Yeah, I've had this one for a long time. And like I say, I have some other Todd Rundgren albums, and I'm like, they're okay. Nothing great. Even some of the Utopia, as much as I love Utopia Oblivion, some of the other Utopia albums are not so great. So, I mean, it's kind of hit or miss. But this one, definitely. Okay. So then, like, quite a while ago, actually, I picked this one up. This is Lee Scratch Perry. The name of the album is The Return of Pipecock Jackson. I'd gotten some King Tubby, some Sly and Robbie, and I didn't have any Lee Scratch Perry yet, so I picked this one up. Now, Fat CD Vinyl. If you watch this, let me know if you have this one. This is different. I mean, it's interesting. So I listened to it. Here's the track list. I don't know if any of these are familiar, but the very first song, the bed jammin', is fantastic. The But the sound is, I don't know how to describe it. Sparse maybe, but anyway, I was listening to it, and so that's Lee Scratchberry. He's holding a hammer there, and scissors on the front. I was like, what the hell? So I listened to this a couple times, and I mean, I like it, but it's just really kind of, I don't know, I got a bizarre vibe from it, right? So then, I'm looking at this picture and all this stuff, scrawled on the wall and everything. Well, it turns out, I didn't notice, but there's an insert, like a lengthy insert. It just looks like a picture, but you can see there's text in here. So this whole page is filled up with text, and basically it talks about Lee Scratch Perry, and sort of, he went through some mental issues basically, and like everybody that he used to work with, he started shunning them, and refused to work with him. People refused to work with him. He went nuts and did all this graffiti and stuff all over this is a picture of the Black Ark studio, and he just did all this weird graffiti over everything, and was kind of basically losing it. His marriage was going downhill, and so they kind of sent some studio musicians and stuff in to work with him to try to make like one more album, and it was a mess, and they basically wrecked the studio, and then they rebuilt it, and then tried to get this album pushed through, and it was just a mess. So if you have this album and you get the insert, it's a very interesting read. It had a lot of problems. So after I read that and I listened to it again, it kind of made more sense, the vibe that I was getting from it. But even still, I really like it. It's good. So, but I haven't gotten to that point in my dub book that I'm slowly reading. So I do recommend this album, but I don't think it's I think it's probably much different than his earlier works. Some of these songs he just kind of jabbers in and whatever, and some have other people doing singing vocals, like background vocals and whatnots, but very interesting. So this is on Honest John Records. And sorry, I love when they do this, when they put a picture, so here's the picture from the back cover, and the picture from the front cover. I mean, how you have to make a label anyway, why not make a picture on it? I love when they do that. I mean, if I need to see the track list, I'll look at the album and see what the track list is. I don't necessarily need to have it. I'd rather have a picture than the list of the songs on the label. So, good job on that one. So that's it. Just keep it short. If you guys have any comments about acapella, let me hear it. I'm interested to see if whether people that like Todd Rundgren, if they think this was kind of a throwaway, or whether they think this is one of his good ones. So I personally think it's the best one I've heard. It rivals Utopia's Oblivion album, which that what I'm looking for on vinyl. So leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. Giant Steps also playing this later. This is awesome. All right. Peace out, everybody. Bye-bye.